have tried everything to get into the Astros database. Tried malware, cam mode, garbage collection files, even pseudo pranksters. Nothing is breaking through their firewall.
Have you tried a password generator?
That program doesn't sync like baseball execs, so I always use movie titles.
Trouble with the curve? Negative.
Ed?
No, but easily top 3 monkeys playing baseball film of the last 30 years, of course.
Fever pitch. Drew Barrymore! We're in! Holy crap! Oh, now I got to download all their top secret plans. They're coming out with a hot dog shaped like Nolan Ryan.
Jose Altuve towel and blanket giveaway nights?
They're signing Manny Ramirez. Hey, what's this? A plan to destroy the Cardinals?
Alert! Alert! They're bomb loading a virus! It's gonna be a Trojan! Reverse sequence! Get out! Reverse!
It's worse than the Trojan virus!
Oh, yeah.
It's a box score!
It's gonna start right now! Stop! No!
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danets in Milford, Connecticut. Guys, Tiger Woods started off the U.S. Open and absolutely imploded in the news because he played so poorly. But not the worst one in history. There was also Van de Velde and the British. Greg Norman and Rory had bad rounds of the Masters. Paulie, what's the worst and most painful round of golf you've ever witnessed?
You know, round of golf, the worst round of golf is what I saw last night because Tiger Woods has been the best athlete on earth before, and he was an embarrassment yesterday from wire to wire. If you said worst moment ever, it was Jean Van de Velde at the British Open because he had the British Open. All he had to do, I think he could have gone bogey on his last 2 holes, and he would have won by a stroke or 2. And you remember he went in the water a couple times. But the worst round of golf, remember, Tiger was on national TV last night in prime time. That's very rare for a U.S. Open or any major to be on primetime TV, especially the Thursday, Friday, because those are usually anywhere from noon till 6 or 7 o'clock, and most people don't see it.
It was tough. Well, Brandel Chambly joined the show today and talked about Tiger's game and where it's gone.
He's traded his genius for the ideas of others. He is surrounded by people constantly who are disrupting lots of different processes. I mean, when you're out practicing by yourself, there's an evaluation process, there's a problem-solving process, there's a creativity and imagination process, and then you cement all that, and then you believe in it. All of these teachers, not all of them, but a lot of these teachers that are surrounding him are telling him to do things based upon what they've divined from watching players who created anew. Tiger Woods has a lot of people telling him, you're wrong, do it this way. If he were left alone, I think he'd figure it out.
Yeah, I think that what we're seeing with Tiger Woods is proof of how much of the game is mental. I mean, I think that's got to be at least a majority of the problem. If not injury, certainly it's got to be an issue too. But I feel like people are sort of giving conflicting theories, though, with this, where like we're just hearing there about the brilliance of Tiger, and he's gotten away from that because he's listening to too many coaches. But the real problem is that he got rid of his old coaches.
Right.
So is he supposed to listen to the coaches, or does he just have the wrong coaches, or should he just get back to being Tiger Woods, which was the brilliance of him, and not worry about?
And are we
coaches?
underestimating some of the emotional things and personal things that's gone on? Was that played how significant of a role is that, or do you think he's completely off of that and it's all just his swing?
Well, fans were actually laughing at Tiger during his round. Fritzy, not many people know what it's like to have your career televised and to have people laugh at your misfortune. I mean, how much does this weigh on you?
Good question.
Not as much as you would think, being Mr. Softy and Mr. Sensitive, but I think we can all relate to that, and on some level, that like what we do is a very unique job. Not to compare to the world stage of Tiger Woods and his his prowess, at least what it once was. But if you're on national TV, radio, what have you, just very few people can relate to that. The way your every move is being analyzed or criticized. When we were back at the mothership, and you're sitting at your desk or your cubicle, you're going about your business. But you're not worried about what you're doing at a given moment. There's no eyes of people on you and just watching every little thing you're doing. So it's got to be awkward, especially for Tiger, as the stats keep adding up as to the last time he got a major, or the last time he didn't shoot 80 or did anything even somewhat respectable on the golf course. So I'm sure that's it's got to be eating at him, even if he won't admit it.
Well, besides Chambly, another golf talking hairdo, well, sort of, called in today. It was Scott Van Pelt, but didn't talk golf. He talked to DP about their budding radio basketball rivalry.
I know you can shoot, and I used to be a decent shooter myself, but I think you and I are both doing the mental gymnastics of what would be required of actually playing one-on-one, and my fear is of the snapped Achilles.
Yeah.
And so what you get is you get that old back in the day gym pride, right? I can play Dan Patch, to hell with him. And then you think, can I really go out there today?
Oh, I wasn't going to
guy?
play one-on-one. I just said I'll shoot, that we would play, we'd shoot 3-pointers, but maybe we just have this where it's always going to be there, but we never play. Yeah. So it would have been better if Mayweather and Pacquiao didn't fight, but they always kept it sort of there. So we'll just do it. We'll just keep it going that, what if, man, I would have loved a piece of you.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to actually, I'm going to call them both scared. I smell a lot of fear on both ends of the line there.
I'm going to call them both smart. They're both aging non-athletes who will probably look real bad on TV trying to battle each other one-on-one. Because while they both could probably shoot a basketball, they don't do a lot of that. They don't do a lot of moving. So I think they're both pretty smart. And leaving it out there, it's more of a running gag. It's better for us.
You don't see a lot of lines drawn in the sand going further and further away. Usually it goes.
That's a good point.
That's why I played the cat meowing after that, which I didn't get any support from, by the way, from any of you. So bold words by you all of a sudden.
Oh, dude, I was laughing hysterically.
The fact that, Dan and Scott basically spooned each other for 5 minutes there, and then, it's like somebody's got to call them out and be like, okay, guys, you're still sort of slobbery.
That was fun.
Meow. McLovin has been flipping out because of a non-offensive statement he said about SVP, about Scott not being in shape. Now, Seton, is he being a wuss, or is he just trying to wedge himself into the drama?
No, I don't think Andrew's being a wuss. I think he was just trying to get himself into the story, which is funny because there's people on both sides of the story doing that. And so he sort of played that role for us, which, by the way, I think I gave you a solid assist today. I got you into the story.
Oh, you don't have to. Dan mentions that I called him out of shape literally every time he talks to him. Well, I don't know why... by the way, Scott still didn't say anything. He had a perfect opportunity to say, "Oh, it's cool, McLovin."
It doesn't even register to him. Dan brought it up to him, and he was just like, Dan, you're crazy.
Well, he's not going to argue with you calling him out of shape because he doesn't have a leg to stand on. If you say he can't shoot a basketball or can't play basketball, he's got a point. None of us are in great shape.
Well, the real story is he addressed it. He had a shoulder injury or something. He's like, I noticed he was shooting like three-pointers at that Super Bowl halftime, and it looked like a man who just run a half marathon. I was like, what is going on with Scott now? He was like huffing and puffing. So, but he did address specifically to have fatigue issues at a shooting contest. That's a sign of a bit of a.
I'm not gonna say anything because I get winded pretty fast.
All right. Hey, Paulie, today is SVP's last day on the radio. Will he be a part of Dan's show if he ever calls it quits? The last couple days?
Well, quits. Boy, I don't know. I'm glad he was on today. I thought that was good, a little fun, put a bow on it, because he kind of took over for Dan when Dan had that shift for I think about 7 years at ESPN, and then they had a kind of interim host mix-up thing, and then Scott took it by the reins a little bit, and he went for on a 6 or 7 year run, if I'm right, and now he's going to do SportsCenter. I wouldn't be surprised that if Dan ever returned to be a guest on campus in Bristol, it would be on Scott's show. I could see something like that getting Dan to drive up there and maybe be a guest on TV up there, which would be kind of cool.
All right, well, since the basketball showdown is never going to happen, I'm going to stand firmly in Dan's corner and say that he will win. Coming up, the most in-shape 53-year-old you will ever see drops by the man cave. You know what would be a weightlifter if it was human? The Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Every day is chest and back for this bad boy. No days off, man. And it would do it in the most fuel-efficient way ever. That's right. And it could beat Paulie in the push-up contest. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram.
Ready, set, go, Paul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm counting Herschel. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Hurry up, Paulie. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah!
Welcome back to Box Score, guys. Former NFLer, current MMAer, and ripped as hell 53-year-old Herschel Walker dropped by the show today. Now, McLovin, you have to choose one. Would you have rather have faced him every down of a game in his prime or get into the cage with him today?
Oh, I'll tell you right now. He's gone, right? He's not anywhere near. Dude, he was not terrifying on the NFL field. Like, you could get him down after one tackle. It's the weirdest thing. In college, unstoppable. Early NFL. But then by the time he got to the Eagles, like, he was not a tackle breaker.
More of a speed move guy.
Yeah, like something went a little bit aside of him in the NFL. Then you see a clip, just a picture of him in MMA. I'm like, I would never do that.
But aren't you better off getting the beating over with the MMA? He'll knock you out and you're done, as opposed to the grind of a 4 quarters. Pounding.
He was not a pounding running back by the end.
He would be if you were tackling him, though.
Period,
He would all of a sudden become a pounding running back again if it were you.
Just run over.
All he would do is do one of these, and any of us, we would just fly off to the side and be done. Yeah. Could the 4 of us tackle him?
No.
Definitely not.
No, you look like Kevin Bacon in Animal House when the crowd ran him over. Well, Herschel talked about people challenging him to fights now that he's a fighter. What idiots!
I have a food company, and I get so many letters, people tweeting, Herschel, I want to challenge you to this. I want to challenge. It's like, guys, you know, like, why do you want to do that? What is it for? What are you doing? My last fight, a reporter asked me the question. He said, Herschel, why are you doing this? You don't need money and stuff. And I said, guys, I don't do stuff for money. As I do it to beat people up. That's what I do it for. And they're shocked.
Could you beat up all 4 of my guys at the same time?
Yeah, I can do that.
You can?
Yeah.
Well.
Because first you're talking about a series where you breaking legs and stuff. Yeah, I probably could do that.
It's one of the most terrifying string of sentences I've ever heard. I don't do anything for money. I do it to beat people up.
That's scary.
Then he followed by breaking legs. Wasn't breaking legs?
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, no, yeah, I could definitely get them, because now we're just talking about breaking legs.
And he's so soft-spoken to say such violent things in such a soft manner. It's like a teddy bear.
What I love is when Dan asked if he could beat up all 4 of us, he gave barely a glance at 4 men who are all younger than him and said, yes, I could.
Couldn't have been more dismissive of us.
Well, Paulie, you look like a little kid on Christmas morning when Herschel was in the studio. Why is he so important to you?
I don't think I realized it till I heard he was coming in studio. I grew up loving. I always been a fan of running backs, Walter Payton and guys like that. But I was really getting into college football when Herschel burst on the scene. I remember every minute of his career. I mentioned in the box that my dad loved Herschel Walker. My dad passed away, I think, October of 80, which was Herschel's freshman year. But I remember watching a couple of Herschel Walker games with him and him saying, watch this guy. And we didn't have VCR or anything back then. You had to watch it live or highlights. And he was a freak show. And he's one of those legendary American sports figures who you don't expect to meet, much less in Little Milford, Connecticut. And then to even just shake his hand and do some push-ups against him, which he's legendary for, it was a thrill. I mean, I'm glad I don't walk in here and go, yeah, cool, Herschel Walker. I was blown away, and it was. I felt like I was 10 years old with my dad again.
And on top of that, he said how much he loved Walter Payton and Mike Singletary. Yeah. So that put it even over the top.
And J.J. Watt, too.
That's right. Like some of your favorite guys ever.
I heard he likes barbecue. I heard he likes Tony Stewart. And, a big fan of my mom.
But did you not get the rundown that he was on today? Because what explains that shirt that you wore in front of him when he rattles?
Well, this is my push-up shirt. This is to make me look thinner, I think, or something.
Herschel Walker did have Herschel Walker wings. I don't know if they're still in circulation, but I had them years ago, and they were delicious. All right, Fritzy, great booking there. Coming up, we're teeing off at the U.S. Open. Welcome back to the Box Score. The U.S. Open is underway this weekend, and we have some big names at the top of the leaderboard, some big names at the bottom of the leaderboard. And just like any major weekend, golf will be the big event this weekend. So we want to help Box Score Nation get their golf terminology down pat. That's where we come in. So it's time to tee off at the Box Score Memorial. We will divide the teams as such. Seaton and McLovin versus Paulie and Fritzy. I will give you a golf term. You tell me what it means. Paulie Fritz will be teeing off. To score an albatross means what?
That is a 3 on a par 5 or 2 on a par 4.
I thought it was the first one.
I think it could be both. A 3 on a par 5.
Is it a 3 on a par 5?
You whiff! You whiff!
I'm sorry, we were looking for 3 under par, 3 strokes under par,
3 under par.
or double eagle.
Oh, okay.
All right, Patrick Perloff's first shot of the day. In golf, what does it mean to hit a fried egg?
Anything? I got nothing. Got nothing.
Hit a fried egg.
So,
Hitting it into the kitchen.
egg spreads out. I mean, low. Like, think you fry an egg.
Yeah, and then it
bubbles up.
Oak or something.
Maybe it's just like a shank or something as simple as that. I got nothing.
Like where you hit it like up in the air and then it goes right down right in front of you.
Yes.
This is a very short shot that goes up in the air and then right down in front of you.
You whiff! You whiff!
What's going on in
I'm
there?
sorry, it
See
is
golf balls flying
a
around.
ball that gets halfway buried in the sand, making it look like a fried egg. Todd Papp's second shot. A messed up opening tee shot that is allowed to be retaken without penalty is called what?
Mulligan.
Is it a mulligan?
You whiff! You whiff!
Not a mulligan.
All right, Paulie, we're going to give you a half a point. We were looking for breakfast ball. Breakfast ball.
Let me ask you, which would you think if you asked 1,000 golfers or people on a golf course was more common answer for a do-over on a missed tee shot? Breakfast ball or mulligan?
I would say mulligan, but I am understanding that this is slang. So maybe if I didn't make that clear, we'll give you another half a point. Why not? All right, Andrew O'Connor on the approach. If your ball goes to the frog hair, where did it go?
Not the frog eye.
The water around around the pond, around a water hazard. The grass around a water hazard.
The grass around the water, yes.
Some type of lily pad situation.
Is it the grass around the water?
Oh, here it is! Here it is! Yes! Yes! Yes!
Oh my God.
Oh.
Yes, it is the fringe, and since there is fringe around water, you get the point. So congratulations. Tall Frips, looking for birdie here. If you are trying to avoid a buzzard, what are you worried about getting?
Trying to avoid a buzzard.
Well, a snowman is 8.
Yeah. Triple bogey, quadruple bogey. It's not buzzard from Woody Woodpecker. I know that.
No.
That didn't help at all. I mean, a little.
There's a
I would
rabbit.
say a bird taking your ball.
A bird flying down.
Yeah, taking your ball.
An actual buzzard.
Because you got to play it from wherever it drops the
Trying
ball.
to avoid
A 10.
Is it a 10?
buzzard is a 10.
You whiff! You whiff!
No buzzard.
I'm sorry, the buzzard is a double bogey. Double bogey.
Double Bogart.
And finally, McAndrew O'Perloff closing out the day. On the putting green, what is a Joe Pesci?
Oh, I know what that is. That's
Short Italian.
It's a bit about golf that goes nowhere where the questions are too hard and the contestants get totally confused.
Mean
That's
spirited.
a Joe Pesci.
On Friday, you dropped
And the producer's like, you laughing at me?
McClown, I
laughing at me. What am I here to give you a break?
What if that was right?
Is it a golf segment that goes nowhere?
Wow.
Is it a golf segment that goes nowhere?
You whiff! You whiff!
I'm sorry,
Andrew,
that
I
is
got to tell you, we
incorrect.
got to protest that one.
All right, we may put an
We
asterisk
got
on
to
that.
protest that one.
Joe Pesci is actually a tough and difficult 5-foot
That's
putt.
not a real term.
I said a short Italian.
You did.
That's essentially
You're
a tough and difficult
That's
5-foot
almost-
putt.
Yeah,
And the
that's
winner
right.
of the Box Score Memorial, and this is no
Mulligan.
surprise, the
We won
producers
anyway.
are telling me it's no one. So, sorry.
Wow.
What?
We
That's
got
what-
frog hair.
Yeah, I think you guys probably won by a little.
The producers are
That's
telling me
all right, the
nobody won,
producers
so
aren't paying attention.
they decide.
Not like the
I tell
graphic
you.
guys can get off their.
Even they're not paying attention now.
right, well, maybe we can pay attention to our sponsor. This is the Box Score. We are taking a break to remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty, with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower, doesn't need one, and always plays under par, and gets albatrosses too, but not in a bad way, like the truck would hit an albatross. It'd be horrible. All right, guts, glory, Ram. We are back here on the Box Score, closing up shop at the saloon. Guys, a couple days, more golf tournament. We can do that. Recently, the hipster-haired and ironic boot-wearing two-a-days tried out for American Idol, a competition that his roommate, I guess, won a couple weeks ago. So what are the odds? Paulie, is this the biggest single white female copycat move you've ever seen?
Well, I guess you could say it that way, but I'll tell you something. In all seriousness, he wasn't going to do it. We had to press him to do it, which I found that really weird because he's obviously a talented guy who could sing. Good-looking kid. He's relatively young. He's eligible for American Idol. Yeah. If I could even have a hint of a chance for American Idol, I'd try it. Because I'll bet you when Nick Fradiavlo tried out, he probably thought, well, I'll give this a try. I got nothing to do on a Tuesday. Well, 2 days actually has something to do on a Wednesday or whenever he was there, a Thursday. And we pressed him. We said, you get a day off. We'll talk to the bosses. You get a day off. Because you know what? What if he ends up in Hollywood? And what if he ends up tripling the price of his weekend gigs up here in Connecticut?
Oh yeah,
super. There's a no-lose situation. You missed 1 day of work. You can,
Or he could be the last American Idol. This is the last year.
Right. The experience alone, if it came, there was nothing else.
There's
almost footage of him.
At the very minimum, we've gotten a great amount of show content out of it. So you're already winning.
To me, that was the worst case scenario. Was I get some show content out of this.
Yeah, no, it's great.
And he gets his heart broken.
Yeah, see, and if Toozers wins this competition, will there be some sort of professional prenup situation where he has mandatory show appearances or maybe some premium ad space on his acoustic guitar?
Wow, that's interesting. It would be a hell of a thing to have Tooz win American Idol and then come back here as just like his buddy did to sing his song that's going to be on the World Cup or whatever the hell, and be like, oh my God, dude, you're Tooz. Yeah. Now all of a sudden it's Dan Overlock, and you're like, what? That would be crazy. That would be awesome. It would be great.
Hey, Paps, you go get my breakfast.
Yeah, go get my breakfast, punk.
I could care less who's on line 3 than what to talk about.
Yeah, you know who's on line? Me, all right?
I don't care how their name is spelled. Hey, Fritzy, if you were allowed to try out for American Idol, would you make it through to the second round, do you think?
I don't think I would. I would certainly try, but I think not that ship has sailed, because I don't think that ship was ever forwarded to me. But I think I try too hard to go when I go a cappella and try to hit the high notes or try to sound like a Hall & Oates or Billy Joel or something. And when I hear how I hear myself in the shower or when I'm singing, once in a while with these guys, and what I hear in my headphones is a very warped image of what the actual sound waves sound like
But you do think you're a good singer. I'm not making fun of you.
No, I think I'm a decent singer. I've entertained myself driving home and in the shower and stuff like that. I'm not waiting for some record deal to come my way.
But does your wife like it when you sing to her?
Not particularly, no.
Really?
No, she's not.
She's married to you, right?
She is. She'll put up with that, but ultimately, she'll just start making the radio louder, or she'll change the station if I'm singing along with a certain song, which is her passive-aggressive way of, instead of saying, "Please stop singing," she'll just make it louder.
If the one person
that's less passive and more aggressive, by the way.
Now, if the one person on earth who loves you more than anybody doesn't like your singing.
That I should take the hint as
well. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm saying.
Dan's already banned.
The name of your first album should be Take the Hint.
Okay.
You should do a mime record.
I do, but the sad thing is, no, you're right. I do think I'm a pretty good singer because I have lowered or
You still do after this conversation.
Oh yeah, when I'm driving home, I'll hear a song I like and I'll make it lower so I can hear myself. I will lower or shut the radio because I'm more entertained by the sound of my own voice.
So you bought this really nice Lexus with probably 9 speakers,
Bose, and it's got good quality
and you
sound.
turn it down.
I will often turn it down and just sing some songs from 1983. Right. And just think, hey, this is pretty good how I'm sounding right now.
It's awesome.
The segment is over. I was with Fritz all the while. Who's on next week, Fritzy?
We will be in the New York City Man Cave Monday. Bob Costas is going to stop by for a full hour to be part of things. That's all I know about for Monday. And if you'll humor me, Tuesday, Coach K and Sam Decker will be part of things as we inch closer to the NBA draft. And that's That's all I know right now.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. If you're
Happy
sitting around this
Father's Day
weekend
to all
on the
you fathers
couch,
out
you can certainly enjoy the U.S. Open coverage via DirecTV. It's on 701 through 705. Mixed channels, all that stuff. Groupings, you're going to love it. We're back next week, same time, same channel, iTunes and podcast1.com. Cheers, stand back.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!